Initially accidentally uploaded in alpha as Merchants of Brooklyn, this game was later rebranded as Drug Wars, with no improvements, but with an added multiplayer called Drug Wars. Now, the multiplayer isn't very interesting, and I'm probably not going to be showing it off. Mostly what you do is you drive around geometric shapes until you fly off the map. What I am going to be showing off, though, is the single-player game called Merchants of Brooklyn, which is a lot more interesting, let's say. Now, we have 4 different difficulty levels. We have Lame, Normal, Brutal, and oh shit. Now, I'm going to be playing on Normal. Any difficulty higher than that makes the game absolutely unplayable, because, as you'll see later, things just explode in the game. They just explode. Sometimes you'll explode yourself, sometimes a table will explode. This game is all about exploding, and body parts, and really bad polygonal blood. So if that's something that bothers you, just be warned that there's going to be a lot of very, very low polygon gore. Anyways, here's this game.
In 3100 AD, global warming caused the ice caps to completely melt. This rose the sea levels to such heights that most of the Earth was completely engulfed in water. The streets of Brooklyn, as they were known at one time, were transformed into a watery grave of a dead civilization. The new city rose vertically from the surging sea. The land was gone, but society rebuilt the city on top of the existing structures, connecting buildings through a network of sky bridges. As the upper class literally moved higher, law enforcement abandoned the lower parts of the city, along with its less affluent inhabitants. To meet the upper city's demand for laborers, city leaders contracted the Brooklyn Institute of Technology to clone a new working class. Neanderthals were chosen as the focus of the cloning research due to their physical resilience and strength. A gross overestimation in the city's contract caused far more Neanderthal clones to be created than were needed to rebuild the city. The excess and substandard clones were discarded to the dregs of the city to fend for themselves. Frank Gambino, casino owner and leader of the well-established mob entity known as the Merchants of Brooklyn, saw a lucrative opportunity here. The first step? Enslave the strongest discarded clones. The second step? Use the bottom dwellers for high-stake fights to the death. It became the new sport of Undercity Kings. The top pit fighter at the time was known as Mateo. I am scientist Antonio Salvio. I have infused my own DNA into that of a Neanderthal to create the ultimate intelligent pit fighter. Perhaps too intelligent to be kept in captivity. As Frank Gambino's prized fighter, Mateo made untold millions for the mob boss and his Merchants of Brooklyn cartel. But Mateo's undefeated streak came to an end in a bout against a then unknown fighter. Mateo was severely dismembered and had to be rebuilt. Mateo! Mateo! Can you hear me? I am Antonio Salvio, your creator. I am responsible for wiping your memory. It had to be done. You suffered too much trauma and became unstable. And that is why I'm showing you your past. Listen to me carefully. The biomechanical arm that I fitted you with is wired into your visual cortex. This allows me to see through your eyes and communicate with you remotely. I'm going to help you get out of this hellhole. But first, you have to go win this fight.
Alright, well, the plot of this game, as it turns out, is there are too many cavemen. The drug scientists invented a machine that let them make more cavemen, and they made too many. There were a surplus of cavemen. And so now they have the cavemen punch each other. And you're a very smart caveman, I think. The antagonist is presumably Dr. Frankenbeans, and your friend is the other guy, the bald guy, that looks like a... I don't know what I'm getting at here. This isn't a very good game. This is presumably a flashback. We already got told about this part, but I guess they needed to render it in-game so it would look better. There's Uncle Frankenbeans, and there's our friend, Doctor. I think it'd be relevant to point out at this point that this game was made in 2012. So, no excuse. So finally we have control, and we are introduced to the first of our many caveman powers.
Hey, killer. Looks like your systems are all up and running. Let's kick some ass.
Our caveman abilities include looking around, punching with the left hand, and... well, it's supposed to be punching with the right hand, but it's not quite working yet. The plot of this game is that scientists that like drugs and sell drugs made a machine that made cavemen, but they made too many, and now the cavemen have to fight each other. Now, we've downed both of those men, and more is supposed to spawn, some doors are supposed to open. The first problem we've run into with this game is that this guy isn't dead. He's kind of just hanging out, and taking a nap. So we're gonna, teach him a lesson. How dare you take a nap? We're fighting you. There we go. Now before we continue fighting, I just want to show you that physics are happening to these chairs. All kinds of physics. This is how physics works. But there's a reason they're here. We can pick them up. The weapons. We can just hit people with them if we want. but also our super arm allows us to overcharge the chair, and that happens. Now, while that's kind of a fun thing to do, it kills yourself most of the time, so it's not really worth it. Also, look at this man's highlights. His highlights fell off. They're in the ground. His highlights... they're all over the place. No, we can't let him get away with that. Oh. He actually might not be dead either. It's hard to tell because right now we don't have a HUD. Our HUD doesn't show up until we die once, for some reason. We take no sympathy on this man. Is that it? Is he dead? Well, sometimes this happens. You just gotta wander around. Maybe this guy's not dead. Oh, there we go. He was talking. There we go. Now here comes what is basically the tutorial boss, the Big Beefcake. This man doesn't pose much threat. We just punch him right in his craw a few times, and we're good to go.
Got your first arm transformation ready. Uploading now.
Sometimes our scientist friend will just tell us that we have a gun, and then we'll get a gun. It happens a lot, and most of the guns aren't any more useful than the other ones, so we're going to be using this one most of the time. Now we're going to shoot this load-bearing transformer. He didn't tell us to do it yet. I don't know why. He's supposed to, but we can do it.
Attaboy, killer. Listen, I did more work on that arm than Frank knows about. It's gonna help you take down the merchants of Brooklyn. And I get my revenge.
Alright, so the throwing mechanic
The arm
that
can
we
charge
knew about earlier?
items that you pick up. Try picking up something and charging it.
We're gonna use this for a puzzle. I think this is the only time we do this. Puzzle solved!
Congratulations! Your life as a pit fighter is now over. Welcome to the life of a mercenary. Your reward will be your freedom. Time to start the revolution, Mateo.
Much in the vein of games like Bioshock or Bioshock 2, we are in some kind of dystopian giant city, which has cavemen running amok in it. You may have seen some of these wads on the ground. This is ammo. This gun shoots wads. And here comes our first boss. Oh! What?! So, that's that's this game. We were just flung sideways
Your life as
off
a
of
pit
that ramp,
fighter
and I'm
is
not
now
really quite
over.
sure why.
Welcome to the life of a mercenary. Your reward will be your freedom.
I'm glad that you got to see that, though,
Mateo.
because this game likes to do things once and then never do it again. I've played through the entirety of this game multiple times, and it's always a new experience. Anyways, here's our first boss. It's a car. Shows you for being a car. There, you got a big wad. Look, we have a HUD now, by the way. There's our ammo on the top. The middle bar, even though the game never tells you, is our stamina, and you can run. Now, if you learn there's a run button, this game takes about 20 minutes. But I want to show this game off in its entirety, so I'm not going to do that. And then there's our health, which regenerates very quickly and makes the game pretty easy. You may have seen there that it said kill in front of him. You can do execution moves in this game. They're kind of stupid and unnecessarily gory. As far as something that looks like a bad N64 game could be gory. But there is one benefit to it, and I'll show it off. Let's regenerate some health and see if we can do an execution move on this lone man. Nope. Oh, can we do it? I didn't even hit him again, he just gave up. This is I don't know what this is. I have never seen this in my life. Well, we have an orb.
Weapon ready to upload to the arm. I call it the Roman Candle. Have fun.
Now, normally you would switch automatically to the new gun he gave us, which is actually a very bad gun. But we have an orb, and I really want to hit people with it. I swear I've never seen it before. Wow. This is the new gun.
Congratulations. Your life as a pit fighter.
Alright, so I
is
threw
now
the orb
over.
and the game
Welcome
crashed.
to the life of a mercenary.
The orb crashed
Your
the game.
reward will be your freedom. Time to start the revolution, Mateo.
Don't worry. As I was saying before, the run button can let you just speed right through the game. There's almost no checkpoints in the game. There's saving checkpoints, but there's nothing that is stopping you from running past the entire game.
I have a new weapon ready to upload to the arm. I call it the Roman Candle. Have fun.
Anyway, so I was saying before, this is the second weapon you get. It's called the Roman Candle, and it's really bad. There's no reason to use it over this gun. Adam tried the apple! Eve! I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to mean. Is this some kind of drink the Kool-Aid type message? Is it supposed to be about conformity? I'm not quite sure. Whatever it is, this message is lost on me.
Careful with that DJ. She's part of the casino security system. Pretty hot, too.
Thanks. Anyways, this is a boss. I believe. Well, let me check. Maybe you can avoid... Nope, you have to kill this anime babe. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to shoot this anime babe. And in cold blood, we murder this rotating anime babe until there's no trace.
Well, well, well. You are even more badass than I had imagined. Now get us out of here.
We can't pick up any of these parts. Mostly in this game you can pick up tables. So you can see sometimes there's innocent people around, and you don't really get in trouble for hurting them. I'll try not to, though, because that's the kind of guy I am. Oh. We execute moved them. And really, in this area, our best option is to just run through it.
There is a chip in your head that enables the mob to track you. Find the main security room and destroy the whole system. We'll deal with the chip itself later.
Now, because we're in a video game, we can be assured that this elevator will work perfectly. And there we go! We're gonna take our elevator to freedom. Or will we?
Uh-oh.
We'll find out what happens next time.